Assalamualaikum and good morning to everyone. My name is Muhammad Zarif Naim bin ZAHARI. I am the new account executive summary of SAIDI Berhad. I have been working for top companies for the past 7 years and also in a large firm. For today's agenda, my team will go through and explain about the segmental reporting and internal reporting for SAIDI Berhad. Before we start, I would like my team to introduce themselves first. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is ARIFFIKRI bin ARIFFUDIN. I am former account coordinator in Petronas and I have been assigned as account executive of SAIDI Berhad.
Hello everyone, my name is DANIAL SHUKRI. I am a new accountant executive of SAIDI Berhad. Previously, I was a management accountant of Maybank. Therefore, I will apply all my knowledge and skill to do better in this company. So, thank you for having me today.
For the beginning, I would like to explain in general about the company's background. SAIDI Berhad is a partner of choice for some of the world's best brands in industrial and motor sector. With operation in 19 countries and a strong footprint in Asia Pacific, SAIDI continues to grow, delivering sustainable value to our stakeholders through operational excellence, high performance standard, and also good corporate governance. For the company achievement, SAIDI Berhad has received many awards. For example, second place for PwC Building Trust Award 2019 and Best Islamic Liability Management for the Asset AAA Islamic Finance in 2018. SAIDI Berhad has 4 missions. First is to develop a winning portfolio of sustainable business. Next is to deliver superior financial return through operational excellence and high performance standard. Then subscribe to good corporate governance and high ethical value. And lastly, provide an environment for our people to realize their full potential. As the company has 4 missions, the company also has 4 core business. In the key growth sector, the company delivers sustainable value to the region economy. The 4 core business are industrial, healthcare, motor, and logistics.
Alright, now I will be presenting the management approach from the perspective of factor to consider having a segment reporting. It consists of nature of the business activities, existence of managers responsible for the activities, and information presented to the board of directors. Without further ado, looking at the first factor. The first factor is determined by any activity carried out by the entity with the main objective of profit maximization. The second factor, each segment will be controlled by the segment manager who are responsible in ensuring the segment performance are directly by the contact with the chief operating decision maker. In the third factor, CODM are referred to the report measured by the board of directors in determining its segment, as it consists of valuable information about the overall performance of the entity, such as financial statement, in order to make better decision making. So the board of directors will be able to ascertain whether the segment should be continue, discontinue, or replace with a new segment that can provide more earning to the company.
Next, SAIDI Berhad has 2 types of operating segment, which are business segment and geographical segment. For business segment is a unit of entity that is engaged in providing individual product or services or group-related product or services, which are subject to risk and return. It divided by 5 segments, which are industrial segment, motor segment, logistics segment, healthcare segment, and other segments. For geographical segment is a unit of entity engaged in providing products or services within a particular economic environment, SAIDI Berhad has separated their geography segment based on location and region, which consists of Malaysia, China, other countries in Asia, and Australasia. Next, Chief Operating Decision Maker (CODM) of SAIDI Berhad is led by Datuk Jeffrey Salim Davidson, who is the representative of Group Chief Executive Officer (GCE). And these are 4 divisional managing directors, which lead each of their operating segment. The responsibility of the Chief Operating Decision Maker is displaying ethical behavior while overseeing the day-to-day business operation and execute board policies and strategies while making operational decisions. Next is serving as channel between the board and management to ensure the success of management function. Other than that, they ensure the effective relationship and communication with their management, board, shareholders, and relevant stakeholders. And lastly, providing the strong leadership by communicating the vision with their management, board, shareholders, and relevant stakeholders.
By using this operating segment, shareholders able to gain the overview of the firm's operation. Shareholders will be aware about the current situation of the company since this segmental report show the details and all the perspectives that are be taken into consideration by the management in their in making their decision, which this will make shareholders easy to monitor their progress. Second, shareholders also able to gain information about company business. The segmental report help investor and the shareholder know about the business process that be operated by the company and also their background as a whole, which also help them to evaluate the company performance. Next, the investors is being exposed with the future plans of the company. The investor also been exposed with the future plan of the net cash flow gain by the company and will get a better understanding about the company in order to make a clear decision about their investment. Lastly, the revenue of each segment also can be identified separately. It is because in this segmental report, the revenue earned by company has been separated from each other segment.
The disadvantages of segmental reporting. First one is misinterpretations. It leads to misinterpretation by user groups if the segment sales figures are larger than the consolidated sales figures. Next is difficulty in providing data. Measurement problems have created problem of difficulty in providing while doing segment reporting. Since the measurement problem influences the feasibility of disclosing certain information, one should look at the problem of determining segment information. Next is managerial conservatism. In the absence of some regulatory provisions to disclose segment reports, voluntary disclosures are likely to be perceived by manager to be beneficial only in certain situations. Lastly, the company could lose competitive advantages. When they display their report, other competitors can take the information and take that as their advantage.
They produce a segmental report. Next is the process to identify the reportable segment and non-reportable segment. Only if an entity passes the quantity threshold test of 10% and 75% threshold, according to MFRS 8, should publish its information separately for each operational segment. The corporation should have percentage of 10% or more of threshold test consisting of 3 tests, revenue basis, profit or loss basis, or total asset basis to determine the qualification of the reportable segment. Said lebih berhad use the revenue basis to calculate the operating segment and will be evaluated based on the total reported revenue from sales to external customer and internal segment. Next, the 75% rule will be applied. That is the total external revenue of reportable segment divided by the total external revenue of all segments times 100. The percentage must be greater than 75%. This slide shows the original segment revenue extract for 2021 as per Said Lebih Berhad's annual report. By calculating the segment revenue using a 10% threshold test, the company has two reportable segments that are industrial 35.96% and motors 63.4%. Since the logistic, healthcare and others did not meet the requirement of 10% threshold test, 3 of them will be disclosed as all other segment categories in the segmental report as one entity. The steps that the company takes in order to have 4 reputable segments is by adding the plantation segment and property segment in the new segment revenue of the operating segment. So, after the adjustment, the company will have 4 reputable segments and 3 non-reputable segments. So, for the 75% test, the company has passed as the company has the percentage more than 75%, that is 99.66%. This is the new segmental report. The industrial, motors, plantation and property segment will be reportable segment as 4 of them will fulfill the criteria of the 10% threshold test on revenue basis. If Said Lebih Berhad believes that the logistics, healthcare and others is significant to the users of the financial statement, the entity can choose to include the non-reportable segment as reportable segment by applying the 75% test. As before this, I said the company has passed 75% test. For the basis of progression for the interim period, there are 2 techniques. First is the integral method. The integral method is a part of the annual report and also a fraction of the annual report. To calculate it is by the annual values times the fraction of the reporting period. Next is the discrete method that the Said Lebih Berhad applied. The interim period is a separate period and reports are prepared on a periodic basis. Revenue and expense items are measured and recognized in the same way that the annual financial statements are prepared.
The 2 accounting policies that currently used by Said Lebih Berhad can be looked from the perspective of property, plant and equipment and inventories. 2. So, for property, plant and equipment, the company is using cost model and depreciation will be measured by using a straight line basis over its estimated useful life, while inventories will be measured in its cost or net realizable value, whichever is lower.
Next, we will take a look at the type of interim report prepared by the Said Lebih Berhad. There are 2 types of interim report, which are complete and condensed interim report. For complete interim report, the Said Lebih Berhad prepared 4 primary financial statements, notes, and comparative information in respect of the preceding period accordance in MFRS 101. The statement of financial position, statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income, statement of changes in equity, and statement of cash flow. For condensed interim report provide less information than complete interim report. And Said Lebih Berhad prepared the condensed interim report for quarterly interim report.
Next is the period for the current and comparative of each statement prepared by the Said Lebih Berhad. The company's accounting years will be end on 13 June every year. The current and comparative period for each statement prepared according to MFRS 134 will be measured from 1 January 2021 to 31st March 2021. that is equivalent to the third quarter of Sime Derby Berhad in 2021. So, for the segment of financial position, the current interim is 3 months. Let's start from 1 January 2021 and finish at 31st March 2021. So, for the comparative, and that is end of quoting period, the reporting period is 12 months. That start at 1 July 2019 and end at 30 June 2020. So, for the statement of profit or loss of or other comprehensive income, the reporting period for the current interim is 3 months. For the cumulative, that year to date is 9 months. That start with 1 July 2020 and end 31st March 2021. So for the current interim comparative, the reporting period is 3 months. Start with 1 January 2020 and end in 31st March 2020. For the comparative year to date, its reporting period is 9 months and start with 1 July 2020 and end in 31st March 2020. For the statement of change in equity and statement of cash flow for Sime Derby Berhad, it will have same reporting period. So for the cumulative, the reporting period is 9 months. That start with the 1 July 2020 and in 31st March 2021. For the comparative period, the reporting period is also 9 months. That start with 1 July 2019 and end at 31st March 2020.
For the last part of the presentation, we will make two adjustments in the third quarter by using the statement of financial position as at 30 June 2021.
Next, we will take a look at first adjustment, which is disposal. On 1st July 2020, Sime Derby Berhad plant and machinery is costing 1.1 billion ringgit with its accumulated depreciation as at 1st July 2020 amounting to 726 million ringgit. On 1st December 2020, Sime Derby Berhad decided to dispose one of its machines with the carrying amount of 21 million ringgit for a profit of 7 million ringgit. The machine was initially purchased by the company at a cost of 28 million ringgit. So the new total cost for plant and machinery is 1.072 billion ringgit with the total accumulated depreciation is 719 million ringgit. So the new carrying amount as at 31st March 2021 is 353 million ringgit. The second adjustment is for inventory. Sime Derby had 8.346 billion ringgit for inventory as at 1st July 2020. The price of inventories will vary for each year. The cost of its inventory at 31st March 2021 is 7.942 billion ringgit. The net realizable value of the inventories is 7.27 billion ringgit as 31st March 2021, and the expected net realizable value of the inventories at 30 June 2021 is 8.2 billion ringgit. So, on the 31st March 2021, the value of inventories should be recognized as its net realizable value amounting 7.27 billion ringgit as it is lower compared to 7.942 billion ringgit. So the loss of inventories amounting 672 million ringgit should be recognized in statement of profit or loss.
Alright, here is an abstract statement of financial position after adjustment. To prepare the statement of financial position, we are required to record based on two dates, which are current interim and comparative. Current interim refer to the current quarter while comparative refer to the period of the statement of financial position at the end of immediately preceding financial year of 2020. So, current interim will be on 1st January 2021 until 31st March 2021, and comparative be on 1st July 2019 until 30 June 2020. So that's all from us. Thank you very much.